to honor in our veterans throughout the weekend. Individuals that have distinguished themselves in battle. This is the way of the Ho-Changada people, the Winnebago people. As I said before, that long ago, centuries ago, this was more than a religion, it is a way of life. The dance, the songs that you hear throughout the weekend pay homage to certain individuals, families, but most importantly, it is the respect that we honor in this circle. Through 159 years upon the return of Chief Little Priest, we honor not only Chief Little Priest, but all the warriors over the years, those that fought for this right, a right that we certainly enjoy in this circle. To the Ho-Changada Winnebago people, a right, anytime you hear that term, was a life taken in battle. The spirits exist through these feathers, through the flags that are raised here today. And I hope that many of you that will stay and remain for the family, the meal, that you will perhaps learn a little bit more about our tradition, our way of life. At this time, we're going to call upon Grey Wolf to honor us with the Chief Little Priest songs. We'd like to ask all the veterans, family, relatives, let's fill this arena and give purpose to the homecoming, the return of Little Priest and why we are here today. So again, at this time, we'd like to invite all veterans, family, relatives, native, non-native alike. We'd like to invite everyone to come on out, at least to stand, as we honor Chief Little Priest. All veterans, all Ho-Changada Winnebago people, we'd like to invite you, everyone, to come on out. Winnebago. Again, friends, relatives, all veterans, we'd like to invite you to come on down as we celebrate honoring the return of Chief Little Priest, Home Chabada. Randy. At this time, we go to our second song. And again, this is in remembrance and honor to Chief Little Priest. Oh. Pinagigi. We need 3 veterans over here, if possible. Again, we go to our third song. Again, we think in a very respectful way of the sacrifice of these veterans and the individual flags that are being raised. we go to our fourth and final song. And again, in remembrance to the return of Chief Little Priest. When are we there? Again, we certainly do wish to thank all the families, relatives, our non-native friends as well for celebrating, honoring the return of Chief Little Priest. Yeah, shake hands with your neighbor, your friend there, fellow veterans and family as, again, we raise our flag for the first morning. And again, each day we will be raising our colors at 6 o'clock. So we encourage you to bring your children, your grandsons, grandchildren to witness again an honoring in a good way. I've been also informed that we need veterans to sign up for our grand entry at 1 o'clock today. So if you will, report over to the Veterans Shack about 12 o'clock as, again, we'll be bringing in our colors for our grand entry, all veterans. Again, the family, the The family of Mr. Herman Brown again will be putting a dinner, a breakfast in honor of their father, their grandfather, their son, and we'll let you know. We say among our people that when you enjoy partake in these meals, especially we call your ghost meals, you enjoy a good blessing in return. So again, we'd like to ask the family to come set up, as again we want to honor our veterans. Again, I wish to thank Gray Wolf for doing the honor, I believe, each morning. And that center pole, again, is the chief little priest flag. There, I believe, 36 flags, 36 stars on that flag. And again, we think of the sacrifice that he has made. Tomorrow, I'll probably talk in great detail of the little priest story that's been passed on. As a young boy, raised up in Jesus, I was fortunate in being raised by my grandparents in the old way, the Hochangada way. Once every few years, Lawrence Big Bear, Felix White, Jim Frenchman, PJ LaPointe, they would come up and share their stories, their teachings. I possess perhaps the original recording that dates back to early 1900 of Chief Little Priest and the stories and the background behind each of these songs. These songs are very important to our people. They bring healing. People come to this circle searching for guidance, spirituality, and healing. We welcome them, native, non-native alike. Again, tomorrow I'll be reciting that story in great detail. I was fortunate in working in Canada for 18 years, worked for the National Assembly, and fortunate enough to check on, again, the Bureau of Ethnological Reports in Ottawa as well as Washington. And so I can attest to the true meaning of the sacrifice of our veterans. The recording that I have, it's very hard to understand because language has changed over the years. I've talked to a couple of other elders and asked them to help me interpret what was said. But language changes over the centuries. A lot of the words that are expressed were long lost. And so it's a task in trying to put together this story, to speak about it in a very reverent, respectful way. And I want to thank the Winnebago people, the Tribal Council, Randy and Gordon, for inviting me back. And I asked last night that some of you have any questions to write it down. Write it down and I'll try to explain it during my morning talks. Try to answer your questions as best I can. At times I say, do not look at the messenger, listen to the words. The words that are expressed in this circle. Again, a place of our veterans, our warriors. We say manape. Manape is those that fought in battle. Those that were veterans. Wangwashushe. There's a big difference between the two. Manape rege waanjere. Nange ege. Wain up to the ege. Chokara and Teguahara ege nache ege. He goes in Nange Humpte. Inache ege haname just ge ege. What check you ege waanjere. So again, I wish everyone to stick around a little bit as they start preparing for our breakfast. In remembrance again to Mr. Herman Brown. Each morning, the flag that is raised on his pole the family will host a breakfast in his memory. Among our people, we host 4 feasts, each clan. There are basically 11 practicing clans. The 12th clan was burned in an accident back in the 1970s, but is slowly returning. You'll hear about the 12 clans of the Ho-Changada people, but there are actually 11 that are functioning today. We host 4 feasts a year. Feast honoring the memory of the enemy. Last night I spoke about when we have a relative that perhaps is somewhat lost on the streets of Chicago, Denver, LA, Minneapolis, lost to alcohol and drugs. Among the warrior societies, among the clans, we are always told that you always feed the enemy. At some of my seminars, veterans doings, there's always someone that will come and ask, how do I bring my son, my uncle, my dega, my choka, how do I bring them home? He was distinguished himself in battle. And we say that when you take the enemy, it's like a monkey that sits on your back. Your responsibility starts from that day on to feed and to take care of that enemy. If you do not feed him, you will incorporate his habits. So that is the reason why we host our annual feast, our war bundle, medicine bundle feast. Is again to appease the enemy, because they in return will take care of us. When I feather someone, I'm giving an actual enemy, an enemy that I took coup on. I can only give so many feathers based on how many enemy that I've taken in battle. We say in this circle, do not lie. Do not lie, because there are certain consequences should you tell a lie. There have been a number of people that perhaps have done it over the years, and not here to identify them, but again, those individuals are not here. Some of them way younger than myself. So again, I warn people, be careful. Do not bring your animosities, your jealousy to this circle. We are seeking help, healing, honoring. That is again the purpose of why we come home each year. So again, in feeding the enemy, when I feather someone, I asked him in a kind way for the first year to feed once every full moon, feed a veteran. If you cannot do that at home, maybe perhaps give a few dollars to a veteran that you know. Go and have a meal on me, on that feather. There, again, you will enjoy the protection of that spirit of the enemy. So again, I want to thank everyone that is listening this morning, and I want to thank Larry for blessing this circle this morning, Navy veteran. And we bless this every morning before we raise our colors in hopes that everyone will learn something. Again, will honor, take home this certain respect. So I believe we again, we'd like to ask the veterans to come forth. The veterans have asked Mr. Larry Pear to provide us with a prayer for this meal. As we always do, we think of the spirit of this individual today, Mr. Herman Brown. And so we're going to ask all veterans to come enjoy and partake in this meal. And again, think as you eat, think in good blessings, a good way. This family that have put this meal on will certainly enjoy blessings, we say, tenfold. So at this time, I'd like to call Mr. Larry Prayer to provide us with our prayer for our meal.
Oh, thank you, boy. You're one of my comrades here. On the sidelines, we tease each other all the time, but my name is Larry Pear. A lot of people know who I am. My whole truck name is Mandela Tremaninga, walks on wind. My clan is Thunderbird, and I am an Army Discharged Combat Vietnam veteran. And today, as I look here, this man, Herman Brown Jr., a lot of us knew who he was. And as a matter of fact, he was one of our last of our ones that knew our language perfect. A lot of us don't speak Ho Chunk. And a lot of us, if we forget that language, we must forget who we are. And the other flags that are flying in this circle here, a lot of our relatives are there. Oh, let's turn to our Creator. Oh, Chuk, come on. We come to you on this day again to bless this food that we're about to partake, and the family that has provided for it. We ask you, Choka, to lead and guide and direct us to be good to one another, respect one another, and help one another as we're doing today. And as we continue our day, let us be in joyful presence of your presence, Choka. Extension. Well, all the veterans, come on up. Veterans, calling veterans. You're already eating already. But anyway, the drum group, come on up. Come up and follow these veterans and rescue. Ladies and gentlemen, can come on up, follow our veterans and the drum group. Let's go. Kapagi Day. There you go, kiss guy. Drop go, Shanok. I'd also like to thank, my brothers in arms here, not in arms, but our Winnebago Veterans Association and our VFW and the VFW Post. Oh. They're coming. There's my Trinch case over there. Moment Trinch case over there. Ah, Trinch case, let's go. Hey, that one. Just to bypass here, talk a little bit here about our veterans. All of our veterans who got their flags up here, and all of our present veterans, they all raised their right hand and they were willing to die for this country and for you to make things possible as we're doing today. I'd like to thank Mr. Boy Ladd. He's a combat Vietnam veteran. I just remember him when I was young. Like, he used to do bird calls one time. I don't know if he still does that there. He's going to do a few of those today, he said. So, oh, I didn't have to say all that, did I? Yeah, he was here back in the 50s and 60s. And I was a little guy too myself. I used to sit up there with a whoop of Sharback. I used to try to mooch in there. And I used to sit there and listen to the songs, as a lot of us have done with our elders who know most of our songs. And as I look into the audience, I see many of you who come from far away, from the four directions. We pray for you. And when you go back home, let your homes be as you left it. But I'd like to remember a lot of our veterans too who got the post-traumatic stress, and somehow, some way, they're sitting on the street, a lot of them. Many of them meet some of them veterans. I have. And they have stories that will bother them for the rest of their lives. They'll be there always. Say a good prayer for them all. Oh. So all my true junks over there dishing out the food. Here's Mr. Randy Decora.
Yeah, Hainapi to each and every one of you this morning. As I look over here at Herman Brown's relatives, was a real good thing and a good thought they had for their choka, their Judge, their grandpa, that all of his female relatives are going to come by a good blessing. Our elders used to say, don't mourn too long. We want you to be well. We want you to feel good. And when you come out here in this circle, what our elders, I should say our warriors, did for our people to help heal ourselves. They left a way for us that we're still taking care of. 159 years since the Little Priest rode under the American flag of 36 stars. No doubt he received a flag for his services. And so you all know on Saturday, on Veterans Day, the United States military will be making a special presentation here in this arena in honor of Chief Little Priest, a commendation for him for his leadership of the 75 warriors in assisting the United States government during the Indian uprising. In his deeds, he left a home for us. He left a way for us. All of those warriors. And when I look out here and see each and every one of you, there's probably descendants of all those warriors still today. I heard the story that some of our warriors went to Wisconsin. They're up there too. So that thought and feeling and that way our warriors left us is alive and well today. And again, we want to say thank you to Boy Lad for accepting to come here and help us in the mornings. Being the combat veteran he is, that he enjoys those rights and words he can say in this arena. Then he can take us back to those stories that he's seen of all those other veterans that are gone, that he would talk about. Wakan Smith, Reuben Snake, all those other veterans that were here before us. We still get to talk about them because of what we do once a year in honor of Chief Little Priest. And a special thank you to Grey Wolf for taking that time to learn, going all the way back to P.J. LaPointe and your Dega Hena. Wanted to leave you in a way, have something for you boys. So it's proud, make me proud today to see you boys out there carrying on of what our relatives left for us. I know you'll get good blessings through your whole life when you're out here. Something to remember, something to teach your children how it is out here, and that special blessing that you get once a year in a good way. So all you people that came out, you're all blessed today. Want something good for you. Feel good in this everyday walk of life. Not easy. But when we think about this way out here, your life can be easy. How we help one another. And then that Grey Wolf song, love one another. That's how good it is. Our people were thinking about one another. So I just wanted to make mention of that this morning. Wanted to let any other vets know that this mic is open. It's always good to hear you talk. Some of those people are gone that would just say things, know what to say, know us how to make us feel. Go all the way back to Jim Snow. Always would grab the mic and talk to us. Really make us feel like we're somebody. Appreciate those guys that they would do that for us. So once again, veterans, I'd like some of you to come up here and maybe talk to us, say some words, something maybe that could help us along in our everyday walk of life. And I want to say thank you to Larry again for saying that prayer this morning, putting down that tobacco in the 4 directions. So I'm going to say about that many words and let the mic be open here. Otherwise, if nobody comes and gets it, I'm going to keep talking. Hey. So, veterans, I'll call on you to come up here and maybe say a few words. A lot of good things going to happen this 4 days. Something to remember from one year to the next. We all live those memories. That's why you're here today. Those blessings that we're doing today only come around once a year, like this, out here on the sacred ground that we have. So anyway, the meal's still going. If you can hear me, come on down. Meal provided in honor of Herman Brown Jr. Was sure a nice gentleman, nice warrior. Talk to you, make you laugh, and then he would even speak German to you. He knew that kind of stuff. He knew how to talk German. So, veterans, the mic is open. Aho, Pino. As it is every Thursday is our biggest day. All the flags come out. The families that take care of these flags, they thank you to you. I know you keep them in your house in a special place. And then when you bring them out, some of us shed a tear thinking of our relatives. Sometimes it's hard. But then after we do this, I know you feel better. And some of us veterans, as we get those flags and we put them up, and we look at those names, and we think about those guys that gone on. Some of them, like myself and other veterans, we folded flags with them. We folded flags with them, and now they're gone. But then when we put those flags up, it makes us think about them, appreciate them for the sacrifice that our warriors have done over the course of many, many conflicts with this country. So veterans, the mic is open. Come on up. Any veteran. We know when we're going to get done with this meal here after all the food is served out. We know we're Grey Wolf knows the protocol song that we're going to use. It's all right if you're just waking up, getting those chokitties out of your eyes. Come on down. They're still serving food. And if you want seconds, you can do that too. I know some of you guys like seconds. And that food's been blessed, so I know it's going to help you. So any veterans? Aho. All right, one more announcement. Facilities or anybody in charge of trash pickup, we need trash cans around here. I just been informed that there's no trash cans around here. So if y'all can hear me or you know them, text them, tweet them, whatever that stuff's called, Snapchat them, let them know that we need some trash cans over here. We have one trash can only. So I don't know who's in charge of trash. Powwow committee, get on there. Whatever you need to do, Powwow committee, let them know. Okay, we have a special announcement I just heard. Special announcement for all you bacon grease fans. The bacon grease is here. So come on up if you need special announcements for bacon grease fans. Come on up. It's here. One of the staples of our meal is bacon grease. Some of you guys use that as good medicine, I know. Oh. Good.
I'd like to have your attention a little bit. I'll try to say something. My name's Carl Baker, Siho Kudaspinga. I wanted to take my part and ask the veterans to come up and talk, you know, and I'm not articulate like a lot of people are, but in honor of Herman Brown, they raised his flag and his family here, that I want to try to say something. Maybe it might mean something. I might say it might mean something to somebody, but I didn't know I was going to be here this morning. I got a grandson come early this morning, and that's why I'm out here. And so I'm glad to be here and witness these prayers and talks and singing and dancing. And nowadays, all I do is sit around and just enjoy other people. And I wanted to make mention that Herman, he was a kind of special person. I never knew him to be angry or anything, say anything wrong to anybody. He always kind of have a smile on his face and talk nice, maybe even kind of tell you something funny, you know. So that's what I remember about him. Then plus he's always kind of hear him talking German to somebody, even though he's articulate in Winnebago. And but also this powwow, this initial part, this return of the little priest and the warriors. That Hedushka, that to me, I was told that means they let their hair down. These warriors, when they go off to war, they used to tie up their hair, so it's not no way, but when they came back, that's what that means. They let their hair down. And also, I've learned that Grey Wolf, as far as I know, his first name was George Grey Wolf, and he's a brother to a little priest, This is what I was told. And I had poor grandmothers. Their father was killed somehow, and he was a Black Hawk. And these women that George Grable raised were they were actually Black Hawks, but he raised them. There's my Cocka Grace. I never did know her. Cocka Mary. That's where my immediate family comes from. Then Cocka Minley, Cocka Nellie. And I just thought, you people probably know that. One time I told somebody up in Wisconsin that. They said, we know that. I told them to say some other things to them. They already know those things up in Wisconsin. They, but like I said, in honor of Herman Brown, he's a hard man to beat, you know, that so I'll try to stand up and try to say something, and I like to see other veterans get up here and talk too, just like what they're encouraging. So so far I'm glad to witness whatever I have and experienced, kind of make me happy, make me feel good. So that's what I learned around here a long time ago, that these dancing and that singing, dancing, and get you well. You know, everything the Winnebagos do, they're always trying to get you well. That's the way I look at it. So these things that Boy Ladd is telling us, you know, that they're very important to learn and listen to them, or listen to everybody. So I want to say about that much, and I want to thank the family for the meals. This grandchildren of Herman, you know, they're all good people. You know, I don't know them all, you know, but he raised them, and boy, they're really nice people. So I'm gonna whoever had a part in cooking and all that, I want to thank them for that. So that what I'm eating is that hearing the prayer and the talks, that is going to benefit me physically, mentally, and spiritually. So I'm glad to be here with you at this time. So thank you.
Thank you, Carl. The mic's still open for some veterans to speak. I know I'm looking over at Dusty. I think he's done eating now. I know he's got some good words to share with us. I always like to put my younger veterans on the spot, kind of way it was for all of us. All right, remember the bacon grease is here. Come on over, you bacon grease fans. It made it. It really helps with your complexion, I heard. Hey.
They say, Hanapi, Rasha Major Wajigan, I'd like to say good morning to everybody. Say thank you to the Creator for giving us today. Come together, congregate, sing, dance, make good relationships. And so I'd like to say also thank you to the family for bringing Herman's flag out, honoring him in this way. He was a really good person, and I like to, you know, live up to that kind of standard, and you know, look forward to this being our best homecoming celebration yet, and starting out and seeing everybody here, I think we're well on our way. And so I think I'll say about that much today, this morning anyway. And thank you to the family again. Thank you to the drum, morning MC. And say about that much. Inagigi.
All right, one more time on the bacon grease. I heard you could put it on your hair. And somebody said you could put it on your elbows. It's really good stuff. Yeah, your cowboy boots. Yeah, that bacon grease is the real thing. So they still have some food up here. And then they're going to have an honor song for the family. But then we're going to do the thank you song before we do anything else. So drum group, whenever you're ready for the thank you song, take it away, Gray Wolf.
Before we sing our thank you song, we'd like to acknowledge the women cooks, women relatives to come out here, and as again we are honoring them during this thank you song, and again many of you, we wish good blessings to the family that have prepared this meal. So if possible, we'd like to ask the women relatives, that those that were part of preparing this meal this morning. So this song is in their honor. And again, to all women, we thank you. So whenever you're ready, and again, if possible, we'd like to ask some of you to please stand, as again we honor the cooks and all the women relatives. Pinnicky. Again, we'd like to ask all the women, mothers, grandmothers, your chewies to stand. This is in your honor.
Great
Thank you. Again, we wish to thank the family, the women relatives that have prepared this meal this morning. We realize that tremendous amount of expense and preparation as well, that behalf of the Herushka, on behalf of the Ho-Chunk-A Winnebago people, we certainly thank you. Thank you for this meal this morning. You know, today being our first day, it's nice to enjoy nice, cool weather. We call upon our veterans to come up and express themselves in their own way. I can't help but think the loss of one of my little brothers, Brian. Lost him over this last year, and I think of every time that I requested someone, a veteran, I could always count on him every morning. And he always expressed himself in a good way. Danny Trujillo as well, two individuals that I oftentimes depended on to assist me in speaking of our veterans, expressing a sincere thank you. Long ago, when we had our gatherings, veteran gatherings, as well as in the lodge, when the people are eating, a warrior would stand and speak, depending on, again, on the host clan. There are responsibilities between interrelationships between the various clans. We have the sky clans, anything that flies the heavens, and we have the earth clans. They have a unique relationship working with one another. When someone passes on from the lower clan, somebody from the upper clan will take care of them. We never have to ask who's in charge, who's the waduchan, who's the one that takes care of the meal, the preparation. Same with our prayers. It is always that relationship and respect to the opposite clan. And like I said, we have 11 functional clans today. Every year we have been losing a lot of our elders. I never thought I would be able to stand up before the people to speak as I do today. I spoke at many international gatherings of veterans and warriors, Canada, United States, and Mexico. It's rather unique, and that I always encourage our younger generation to travel. That's perhaps one of the greatest gifts that one could have, is to travel. Hirushka has given me that opportunity, has given me an education, has given me an opportunity to meet many celebrities, many movie stars, musicians, a lot of the productions that I have put together. And thinking back to 1952, when I first started dancing, coming here the second year. And I recall all the elders that sat out here that give me that opportunity, understanding. To learn, we must always open our ears and our heart. And as I said earlier, do not look at the messenger, listen to the words. Listen to the words that our elders have taught, have given us. It's rather unique that the people we talk about, the Chokas way back, 1940s, 1950s, that is still very much alive, held on to by some of our elders and especially our veterans. He was talking about Wankwoshoshe, Herushka. Herushka is a Winnebago Ho-Chunk word meaning to fight. That term you will find all across North America. You go down to Oklahoma, many of the tribes that speak a similar language will use the term Herushka. It's in lowering their hair. They would enter into the village upon the completion of their either be tour of duty or one of the wars of the past. They would come into this circle. For the warrior societies, for the warriors that distinguish themselves in battle, we would always dance counterclockwise, and the women clockwise. That is a right that our warriors have earned in dancing counterclockwise. When being honored, when having to conduct a ceremony, I will always dance counterclockwise. That is the teaching and the respect of our warriors. Many of the tribes or nations of different parts of the country originated in the Great Lakes region. I at times say that language, there are basically around 11 basic language stocks across the country. As I've traveled to many of these different communities, I'm one that enjoys listening to the elders speak. And you can pretty much trace their origin. The Iowas, the Otos, in part the Punkas, the Umaha. We enjoy the Mandan, the Arikara. We enjoy a similar language. Of course, as I said, language has changed over the centuries. I find it very difficult for someone today to speak with somebody in Ho-Chunk from back in 1900. Slang has taken over, has taken a lot of our language. And for many of us, it's very hard to interpret the Ho-Chunk language because there are a lot of things in our language that there's no word for it. It possesses a spirit. Language is a living spirit. We cannot harp enough to our children to learn that language. Sit down and listen. I was fortunate listening as a young boy. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the Winnebago people, the Ho-Chunguta people, the elders, Wangshikata there. And not Jake, Kaniwin, Kihane, Nonge. It's pretty hard. Pretty hard again for me to stand here. I left Albuquerque last week. I went to Fort Duchesne, went all the way up to Browning. I went to Albuquerque and drove up here. I have what they call sciatica. Since COVID hit, I've been having problems with my back. I've had a herniated disc since 1986. I did not let the Army cut me up. I was in Fitzsimmons Army Hospital. Night before they were going to operate, there were about 8 guys that came into my room on wheelchairs. Hey, Chief, if you let the Army operate, you're going to be joining us for the rest of your life. I thought about that. You have medicine among your people that can do far better than the Army. You already gave enough. to the Army and to your people. I went up to Alberta. There was a medicine man that helped me. It took about 2 years. I could barely walk. And Powwow, Herushka has always been my life. I could not see myself not dancing. And I'm very appreciative. And for you young people out there that are learning the ways of the Herushka, it will guide and help you. It will bring you back, as we learned in the Little Priest songs. And again, as I look to the clans, Little Priest, Hung Nechabada, he was a chief. And these songs that they were singing, the songs they actually use, what we call the grizzly bear songs, are healing songs. And again, tomorrow I'm going to recite the whole story. And again, paying homage to our teachings, our way of life. We never say religion, we always say way of life, because it's practiced 24/7. And these gentlemen out here singing enabled us, create that spirit for us to be a part of that drum. We say that drum is wakan. It's holy. It can heal. That's why we cannot emphasize enough to dance. The politics of today, very hard to try and understand. Very hard to understand as it affects each and every household, each of our families. We try to cope with it. We try to understand. And mostly importantly, the veterans. The veterans that they have sacrificed. I have much to say about politics in my tenure working in Washington and Mexico City, Ottawa. I have much to say about politics, but this really isn't the place to talk about it other than the respect of our veterans and our warriors. I hurt down deep inside of what man is doing to Mother Earth. We look at the consequences of these decisions that are being made in Washington. And I've been saying this for the last 3 years, 4 years, that Mother Earth is going to retaliate. We have never witnessed the amount of tornadoes, the floods, the hurricanes, the disease that we are facing today. As I said a couple of years ago, to get out and vote. Vote. Vote for our democracy. Vote for our veterans. Vote for our tradition. And so again, I want you to think about that. Each morning I'll be speaking a little more in detail. And I ask in a nice way, a humble way. If some of you have questions, write it down. Bring it to me and I'll try to express as best I can on behalf of the Ho-Chunga people, Winnebago people. A young lady came up and expressed her feelings from her heart. Misty talked about her Dega, Herman Logan Wanagita. I have nothing but the utmost respect for that young man. We enjoyed many powwows together. The family is still very close in my heart. As she expressed herself, almost coming to tears, because they, family, Ed and Herman, all of them would be here every year. They always camp. I'm sure the family still camps in the same place. Through the years, the camp here, certain families had certain spaces, as well as in the back. As Randy was saying, I recall an era. I think of Wakan Smith, that tree that sits up there. I was a little boy, 5 years old, 6 years old. As I saw him getting dressed, I'd hide behind a bush over there watching this man dress. And when he came out here, he amazed me. His dancing ability, the dust that he could raise. Certain individuals I'll be talking about that inspired me, made me who I am. My veterans, all my Dagos fought World War II. And I couldn't help but say, yeah, when it's my turn, I'm going to sign up. I just got back from Russia, State Department tour. I was the only Indian on that tour. Performed all through Eastern Europe and the Kremlin, Bolshoi, all the way to Georgia, Armenia, Baku. And traveling to these different countries, I came back and I didn't want to miss this war, Vietnam. I was in La Crosse and with my cousins. I still never touched a drop, never drank back then. I was still in college. I walked downtown to get away from the big party and walked by the recruiter's office in La Crosse. I saw all these signs. I walked by, I stopped, and I was looking at these signs. And Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. I looked at them. I was kind of looking at that Special Forces. I walked down to the corner and thought about it. I turned around and came back, and I stood there again, looking at all these different branches. The recruiters must have seen me. I went down to the corner and came back again. And I stood there again. Finally, this Army recruiter came out and said, "Well, Chief, when are you going to come in?" How about now? There was a guy, Donald Cupp, whose father was a colonel in the Special Forces. Don was sitting there. He said, "Well, we're going to join up under the buddy plan." All you Army vets know that doesn't exist. So I joined up with the Special Forces. Eventually, when I began to find out the true warriors, I switched over to the Rangers. Airborne Ranger. I had rank and I had education enough that I was a first sergeant through all my different phases, including the academy. I'm just one of many Native veterans that have perhaps earned that right we enjoy in this circle. I sometimes have to repeat a story in that someone will perhaps take that message home with them. When a warrior speaks, he speaks to teach, to honor, pride. He speaks to teach the younger generation. Like I think those elders, Wilbur, both Wilburs, Lawrence, Felix. I think about those old elders and what I learned from them. I wished could have listened more. I was very thankful to my grandmother. Chechi, I was very honored in listening. I would go get some coffee, tea, and I would take care of those guys. Never waiting to be told. I would go out and put the stones on. Put those stones on without being told. And I'd come back in and throw a towel to each of my elders. And we'd go out. Inoka, our sweat lodge. Our sweats are a place to learn. It is not a religion. It's a place to learn, a place to cleanse ourselves, to cleanse our body in preparation for our hunts, in preparation to going overseas. We have certain ceremonies that we prepare ourselves. I've been asked many times, I just had to do one recently. When one of our sons, one of our boys is going over, we call upon our Dagos to sit down with them and to talk to them, prepare themselves, and going overseas, and especially going into battle. I've done that almost annually. I'm invited to different homes, different tribes, nations, and helping them. My uncles did that for me before I went to Vietnam. And through that, there was a feast. They gave me that certain protection. All warriors traditionally receive a certain amulet, a certain protection. We keep that on us as we go into battle. And I'll tell you one thing right now, that I would say 99 out of 100 veterans that fought, that had that protection, came home. They came home. So again, I say, practice your tradition. Practice your way. And for us, we're fortunate among the Ho-Changara, the Winnebago, that we still have it. We still have that today, that opportunity. The various clans, one does not just pick up a name. I noticed some tribes, you go down in my area, the Southwest, there are probably 200 different clans among the Dene. For the Ho-Changara, we're fortunate we have 11, 12 clans. One does not pick and choose what clan you belong to. It runs in your blood. When asked, I always say, go to your grandparents, go to your Dagos, go to your uncles, Chokas, and they will guide you. One does not give themselves an Indian name. There's no such thing. Long ago, these names are inspired by something that you learned in battle. We do not give a life, but we give a lesson learned. I've named a number of individuals, probably about 20 or so, from my experience, from something I learned in battle. Something I learned. Again, it's not a time that we come here to brag. That is a time to learn. To learn the teachings. I know individuals that have taken someone else's name, adapted it as their own. That name might have been earned in battle. So I kind of say, be careful. Be careful of these Indian names, native names. We always say that when you go on the other side, the Creator is going to address you by your Indian name. And so again, there's a spirit that exists in every Indian name. A spirit that we honor through our life. So again, these are just basic instructions, basic teachings among my people. Each morning, like I said, I'll address different parts of our tradition, our way of life, especially in this circle. And I ask some of you, if you have a question, come to me, write it down. Getting to a point where I'm getting older now. Sciatica, herniated disc, thing called age. I try to deny it. I try to set aside. Just keep dancing. Keeps you young. It keeps you young. Thing I learned in Mexico among the high priests, the generals. When you hang with these young people, you're going to stay young. I keep dancing to give me health. I see some of my brothers out here carrying a cane or a walker or sitting in a wheelchair. They need that blessing. They need that prayer. And I thank the family for bringing them here. So again, this is what Herushka represents. The takers of the scalp. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking more about Herushka, the origins, the humble beginnings, the clans, the responsibilities that we have. Responsibilities we have in those positions that were created back in mid-1700s. That's when Herushka come to the Hochangara people, the Arikaras, the Ojibways, the Regachis, the Dakota people. We were all part of that meeting, and it was just held just north of here. We bought Herushka, the grass stats from the Omaha, and from there evolved to what we see today. So again, I often speak in a very respectful way of the Omaha people for this land that we enjoy, we live in today, and for giving us this right that we enjoy today. And again, I'm going to be talking more about that tomorrow, so I hope that many of you will come back. And there's much to, again, learn. At this time, we're going to ask Grey Wolf to assist us in honoring the family of Herman Brown Jr. And we'd like to ask all the relatives, friends, people that knew him to come out and dance. I should say all of us should be out here. Come out and dance as we honor the memory, again, of Mr. Herman Brown Jr., a veteran, well-respected individual to many people that knew him. So again, we're going to call upon Grey Wolf. I understand he didn't have a song, but we have an honoring song. So I'd like to ask everyone to come on out as, again, at this time as we honor Mr. Herman Brown Jr. Nachingui. Again, veterans, if you will, family, people that knew him, all Winnebago people, Hochangara people, we'd like to ask you to come out and be a part of this honoring the memory of, again, Mr. Herman Brown Jr. Pinagigi. We invite a lot of our non-native friends at all. We invite everyone to come on out, especially those that took part of this meal. And may good blessings be returned to the cooks and the family. pinigigi. When a drum sings acknowledgement to a certain individual or a family, when that song is sung, we usually give something to that drum as a thank you. I thank you that you're acknowledging the part of what the purpose of what this drum stands for. Among our teachings, we all pray to the same Creator. There is no difference. It is only in the means and the language that varies from one part of the world to another. Oh, thank you, Larry. And again, we want to certainly acknowledge and thank Grey Wolf for rendering these songs, songs of honor, songs of respect. As I was saying, we all pray to the same Creator. It is merely the language, the customs that change from one region to another. But ultimately, it is always Maona, the Creator. I was very fortunate, raised by my grandparents in a Chiporika. We didn't even have a floor. We would pour water on the ground to harden it. Or during the winter months, it gets a little chilly. We used to go to the Neilsville Indian School. My grandmother would give me $1 to go get my school clothes for the next year. Very humble. The food we put on the table was things that we hunted or trapped. I was a trapper in the old school sense. Beaver, otter, muskrat, raccoon. The hides we used to go and trade the fur buyer every 4 months to put salt, the basics, salt, milk, eggs. Back then, things were rather cheap. I remember when gasoline used to be 4 cents a gallon. Jumped to 11 cents. Could go to a movie with 10 cents in your pocket and still come home with change. Change, whether we like it or not. We look at the oil industry, gasoline. I testified before the U.S. Senate on petroleum, oil, and gas. I cannot understand. We have enough oil in this North America to supply world demand until 1939. Yet we elevate our prices of gasoline annually based on the Middle East prices. Going over to Saudi Arabia, the oil producing countries, do you know that a gallon of oil, $10, $12, $15. These middlemen take that money. Thus, you're talking about $150, $200 a gallon. And they didn't even have anything to do with producing, bringing that oil out. That's the system that exists today. I worked with the federal, state, international laws, and I'm quite familiar with a lot of that. Times I have to be very careful what I say. When I worked in Mexico, Nicaragua, Guatemala, I was warned, be careful, boy, they're watching you. The petroleum industry lives by that almighty dollar, that need. You know that back in 1991, there was an Indian guy, a scientist that created aqua fuel. I testified about that aqua fuel, being able to produce alternatives to fossil fuels. Aqua fuel would cost 4 cents a gallon. No pollutants, anything that's going to destroy Mother Earth. You'd think the world would accept that. Again, I was warned by the petroleum industry. You're going to get assassinated. That doctor was found dead the following year for producing something so needed today. It's not having to reproduce or restructure the whole engine, as it's just an attachment to the carburetor. But the system, the petroleum industry, makes their money on us. So I could go on and on about many of these situations that arise within our communities, how it affects our families. You can turn a switch and you got light. Turn a dial and you got heat. Back in our day, if you're lazy, you don't live too long. You have to haul wood, make enough for the winter. My grandmother, we'd go to the mission, the Indian mission, the main community in Black River. My choka, we had an old Model A back then. As Grandma would be under that little chipotle, the elder ladies would be playing dice games. We'd sit there for 3-4 hours. Pretty soon, Grandma would come back and have a bag of pennies. Boy, that was a lot of money back in the early 50s. You know, with the price of everything today, what's happened? What's happened to our people? This dependency, the almighty dollar. The United States today is based on economics. The President administration wants to see a profit in every decision, and a lot of times for themselves. Let's face it. Mother Earth is retaliating. It's retaliating. All those people that voted for them, they're paying the ultimate price. So again, think about that every time we vote. Vote for what is the needs of our people, our elders. As I came into Winnebago yesterday, I always say that the people are valued by how they treat their elders and their veterans. As I saw that park over here, I encourage all of you, at one time or another throughout the weekend, to go look at that park, honoring our veterans. And we think that, again, our tradition, our way of life. So again, I will be getting ready for a feathering ceremony. So I want you to kind of stick around, go out and grab a cup of coffee, what have you, and I believe we're going to have our feathering about 10 o'clock or so. 10 o'clock or so. So we want you to witness this ceremony. The Ho-Chunga people are very proud of our women relatives. When they wear that feather, it isn't based on its beauty, most importantly on the right. a warrior is called on that will give that feather a life. A life. That's what that represents. You look at our regalia, I saw that one lady, young lady out there with her applique. That's pride. That's respect. I have to say, as I go around the country, other reservations, other conferences, that a lot of other tribes are adapting our way. They wear our traditional dresses, nothing fancy, but again, respect to their teachings. As I go to Oklahoma, a lot of them are copying our ways. That is again the pride of the Ochangara, the Winnebago people. So if there's anyone else that wishes to come up and speak, we want to open the mic, and as we're going to start getting ready for this feathering ceremony, I want you to come and witness it, listen and learn. Take this back to your family. And again, this has been held over the centuries. It isn't something that I created or other veterans before me created. It's a way that we were always taught the respect of that feather. So again, if there isn't anyone else that wishes to speak, I believe we're going to take a little brief break as we get ready for this feathering ceremony. I'll call you and call you back. And when you do this feathering ceremony, usually the warrior has a song. A combat warrior will have a song that was made in his honor. I've asked a young man, Mr. Les Painter, to come and help sing, render my song. We just don't pick any song randomly. It's based on that individual warrior. So again, we're going to take a brief break, and if there isn't anyone else that wishes to speak, I believe we're going to start getting ready. So 9:30 or so, 10 o'clock, we'll be proceeding with that feathering. Say your name first.
Onahinlia Chokma Sahachifo Alan Brott. Good morning, my name's Alan Brott. Oklahoma Chata Hapia Hoki. Me and my kids, we're Oklahoma Choctaw. We live in Sioux City, and we kind of have found a second home in your community here, and we're really appreciative. I just wanted to take a minute to express my thanks to all of you for your community, how welcoming you are, how kind you are, and really just for helping us make a home here with you, for just helping us have those good feelings as we do things like this, as we live this way of life. So, Yakoki Fina, thank you very much.
Anyone else that wishes to come up and express themselves? Again, kind of stand by. The mic is open, and we're going to start getting ready for our feathering ceremony.
Boy, lad, I want you to do a bird call here this morning. Let's go. He's laughing about that because you do all those back in the day. My comrade here, one of my brothers. Oh, Pino, we know. Have a song for you. I gotta say all that. Oh, he said.
Remind everybody we need them back at 12 o'clock.
Okay, 12 o'clock. You guys sign up for your grand entry time. 1300. 1 o'clock for you other guys. 1300. That's what Boy Lad said. Just get out 8. Okay. The mic is still open for anybody who wants to get up and talk a little bit. Veterans, especially you veterans. Come on up.
I want to thank Travis and his brother coming and taking care of our sound for us. Always doing a fine job is all. Some of you may have a upcoming celebration or something. I do recommend maybe perhaps touching base with these guys, the Rave brothers, for taking care of our sound and so vitally needed for every celebration. So kind of stand by, and I'll announce time to come back as we're gonna get ready for our feathering ceremony.